Hey everybody, it's me Danny. So today I'm back with a new video, and as you may notice, I've got a book here that doesn't normally live here. It's because I finished reading a book. Yay! It took me much longer than expected to read like a 400-page book. It took me like 2 weeks to read a 400-page book because I just haven't been reading a lot lately. It's not that I'm in a slump or anything. It's just that I haven't had a lot of time to read because my life is really busy right now. Yeah, but anyways, in case you can't tell, the book that I read is Percy Jackson's Greek Gods by Rick Riordan and illustrated by John Rocco. Now, if you don't know anything about this book, then where have you been? Like, have you lived under a rock for the past couple years? But this is a book about the Greek gods, like mainly like the 12 Olympians. But the fun thing about this book is that it's narrated by Percy Jackson himself. Hence, Percy Jackson's Greek gods instead of just the Greek gods. So, this is narrated by Percy Jackson himself, which means it's like great because, Percy Jackson, like Percy, is the best. But yeah, the real cool thing I liked about this book that I can't find has pictures in it of the gods and stuff. I would open it more, but it's a paperback. I don't want to wreck the spine because the spine is pretty. Because books. Yes, but so this just gives you like a basic rundown of like a lot of the big myths concerning the 12 Olympians, like Zeus, Poseidon, Hades, Hestia, Persephone, Hades, like all of them. I think I said Hades twice, but yeah. So the reason I wanted to read this book is because I'm kind of in like a Greek mythology kick right now, because I'm in a play. Like I'm like just in like a little 15-minute one-act play that is based on Greek mythology. I play Charon, however you pronounce it. I'm supposed to pronounce it Charon in the play, but I really pronounce it Charon whenever I'm reading and stuff. But anyways, that's beside the point. I'm going to be doing a review, or attempting to do a review for this book. So, so this book was amazing. See, I don't normally read like the kind of thing that's like all factual and historical like this, but this one I was willing to let it slide because Percy Jackson tells the stories of the myths, and that means like there's all like the snide, snarky comments and stuff, and like the first thing I noticed when I opened this book, let me find them. Like it's a table of contents, and they've got like the best chapter titles ever. Like let me read a couple of them. Okay, so my favorite one is, my favorite couple are Ares, the manly man's manly man, and then also Hephaestus makes me a golden llama. Not really, but he totally should. It's just my favorite thing. It's my favorite thing. Just look at all that glorious chapter title pages. Now, I had like a list compiled of like some of my favorite quotes, but then I stopped doing that around like the 50-page mark because I was stopping like literally every like half a page and writing down a sentence, and that was just taking too long for me. I wanted to read the book because yeah. No, but there's so many like great moments in this book. There's one moment where I actually like kind of feared for Percy's life a little bit because he was I can't remember which chapter it was in, but at the end of the chapter he was talking about Annabeth because, why would he not talk about Annabeth, because Annabeth is amazing. But he called her like it was really funny. I can't find it, but he said something about Annabeth, and I really feared for his life, because knowing Annabeth, if she found out, she'd probably kill him. Yeah, but this book is a ride. Like, right from the very beginning, like I already showed you, with the chapter titles. But in like the very first chapter, like the introduction, like here, let me just read a sentence. My story has already been written down in some books that are totally fiction, wink wink, and I am just a character from the story. Cough. Yeah, right, cough. Like, how Percy is that? This entire book is like that. It's great. And then another thing, like, still in the first chapter, is then okay, so here we go. First I'll tell you how the world got made. Then I'll run down a list of gods and give you my 2 cents about each of them. I just hope I don't make them so mad they incinerate me before I Just kidding. Still here. Just that is what this entire book is like. And I loved it so much. Like literally every sentence I was cracking up, because how can you not crack up when Percy Jackson is narrating a book? But like after reading this, I've come to the conclusion that like every like history book and textbook ever should be narrated by Percy Jackson, just so that kids would actually learn. I would actually learn stuff. Weird. Yeah. No, but this is like also like a really insight, because it gives you information, like the knowledge about like all the Greek myths and stuff. And I knew some about them, but because I'm a big Percy Jackson fan, I read the books, I know what's in them. But this one gave me like more insight in like families, and like more into like their power, because like I just knew like some of like their basic powers, kind of like what they are, the god or goddess of. And it wasn't just like about the gods, like the 12 Olympians. There were also like Hestia, and you don't hear anything about Hestia because no one really remembers her. But she comes in here, and then you also learn like a little bit more of like how like the gods came to be in power. And like there's also stories about like the beginning of the world as the Greeks see it, which includes like Gaia and Uranus. I think that's how I say it. But and also the Titan, like all the Titans, Kronos and them. It's yeah, but this is definitely like a very like watered down version of it. Like not saying like that the myths in here are wrong. It's just it's very watered down to be more like family children appropriate kind of thing, because like they definitely don't, because the Greek gods, they definitely did like the Greek myths are all very gory and bloody. I'm cool with that because I'm a big fan of gore. I really like gore. Hence, like we refer to these books up here. Me and my mother refer to these books up here as the blood cloud books, because people explode into clouds of blood. But yeah, so it's definitely watered down, made more child friendly. Like yeah, because like when it says like all the gods, like especially Zeus having like all his affairs and like sexually assaulting the mortal one, like his girl, like his mortal woman, is like more like cuddled too closely or got his way with. Like they don't say anything like that, and definitely like the gory, bloody bits where people are like torn apart or beheaded or sliced into like little tiny bits by their son. It is definitely like it definitely just says like he cut him into like little tiny bits, starting from like a very painful place. Definitely very watered down, but I didn't mind it because like basically my entire reason for liking this, for wanting to read this book and liking it, is Percy Jackson, because Percy, like seriously, Percy. But yeah, this was definitely like a really good book. I really enjoyed it. Like even though it's not normally something that I would read, like because I'm not really all into that history and stuff, I definitely thoroughly enjoyed this, and I am so glad that I finally read it, because my best friend, she's been trying to like push me into reading this forever, but I didn't want to because it's a big giant hardback. But then I saw it in the store, saw it in the bookstore, with this little tiny paperback that could like fit properly on my shelves. I got it because she's been wanting me to read it for a long time, and I don't do well under pressure. When people tell me to read books, I gotta read them. So, yeah. But I definitely recommend this book 100%. Like, go out and buy this right now. Even if you don't want to, go out, buy it. Even if you don't know like anything about like the Percy Jackson world, you can still pick up this book and still thoroughly enjoy it because there's there's lots of sass, there's lots of snarky comments and just commentary that like lightens up the whole thing. It definitely adds like a comedic element to it, and it kind of needs a comedic element because it's kind of it's like kind of serious, but not really. But yeah, definitely go buy this book if it sounds like at all interesting, or even if it doesn't. Maybe if you just want to learn more about the if you want to learn more about the Greek gods, this is definitely the way to go. This is fun entertainment. This is like fun, entertaining, and it also teaches you. It's a learning experience because I learned many things about the Greek gods I didn't already know, which always helps because Greek mythology. But anyways, that is my attempted review of Percy Jackson's Greek Gods by Rick Riordan, illustrated by John Rocco. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you like my face, or if you've read the book, or you just like this kind of video. And if you want to see more videos with my face and other videos on books and stuff, subscribe to my channel. Subscribe to my channel. I won't push you away because I love you. Yeah. I'm sorry, that was real weird. But anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this video. And I hope to see you all soon. I'll go home and read a book. Bye.